Welcome to another episode of You,
Me,
and
the Flea. And
Hey,
here we are. Oh my
sis.
gosh. So, like crazy, February's almost over.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
We went from having the longest month of January to a short month in February.
Yeah.
I feel like February just flies, right?
well, it's like organically, like it's a few days short.
Yeah.
Except this year because it's leap year.
I know.
But I don't know. February is so weird.
February leap year is weird.
It's weird. There's like a lot going on in February, but then
Yeah.
at the same time, like, I don't know. It's
like we're just getting closer and closer
Yeah,
to the
it's-
spring.
exactly,
And I love it. I feel like the
exactly.
bad weather is like almost behind us.
Yeah,
You know,
it
like
gets-
we'll have another snow, of course. We
Totally.
always do. But it's like the days are longer.
Yeah.
The sun is setting later.
Yeah. We
We got a little bit more sun. I think too with like, you know, Valentine's Day in February, like there's more flowers, pinks.
Totally. And like March, you kind of always look forward to like maybe a trip or like vacation vibes
Yeah.
or like, you know,
It's
that
St.
spring is
Patty's
like,
Day.
yes, like there's like a
You
little
know
bit
how
more vibrancy.
Yeah.
But February has this like weird ramp. I don't know. I love all the months equally.
Do you?
Kinda.
I definitely have favorites.
Like,
Really love July.
really? Okay.
It's like halfway through the year.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, I feel like it's a good place to like check up on your goals and like see what you've hit and maybe what you should still work on. Mm-hmm. The weather, I mean, come on. Come to
Yeah,
Chicago
true.
in July. You are thriving, honey.
Yeah.
You know, the days are long,
Yeah.
where it's like 10 p.m. and the sun's going down.
Yeah.
I love the fall
Yeah, that's
too.
true.
Love the
I know.
fall.
I was gonna say like September is usually
September through,
like a baddie, just because there's like cool things going on. Like
concerts.
it could
There's,
be like super hot or like semi not. Like
football games are back.
Yes,
Baseball games
yeah,
are
yeah,
going
yeah.
on. There's like you're outside. You know.
yeah, it's almost like you like push on the freaking gas a little bit
Totally.
in September.
You're
I don't
still
know.
revving up
Yeah.
the engine.
Yeah, exactly. Like May always freaking blinks for me too. Like that's a month that goes by so
Yeah.
fast because it's just like, I don't know. Like I feel like every weekend something's going on. It's like Mother's Day, my dad's birthday, like
All the
I don't know.
things.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend. Like all my friends I think are born. Well, my good friends are like born in May, so I'm just
Yeah.
like fudge. Like I don't know. It's hard, but
Yeah.
that's a favorite one of mine too.
Really?
So anyways,
Okay.
yeah, I would
didn't
say
know that. May girly.
yeah, I like May.
Yeah, I like it.
Anyways, we're here. It's Thursday. We have an episode today. And we're going to chat about neighbors
Okay.
and being a good neighbor. And what do I mean by that? Because this is kind of crazy, but got some inspo because a lot of people, especially in companies, like, and I think you can attest to it too. It's like everyone always thinks like, you're just a business. You're just, this existing, that we're just a flea market, right? Like everyone comes here, they visit there, they
And
shop,
that's it.
and then it's over. Yeah. But, something that you might not know is we do kind of partner with a lot of companies that we can. We're really involved with the community. So kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit because
Yeah.
I don't think we ever have. But so yeah.
No, I actually love that. I
Yeah.
feel like there's just from our conversations of like the last year and a half, 2 years, Swap is involved.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you guys do a lot. And I
Yeah.
just have seen it working with you. I always like rave about Swap. I really do feel like you, yes, but like Swap as a whole really cares about, number one,
Yeah.
their staff and the people who work for them. Now, I'm not just talking head office. I'm talking like vendors,
Yeah, everyone, yeah.
everybody involved. Maybe who you guys use as like your consulting services, third
Yeah.
parties. Like you truly like really, I feel like you guys really nurture those relationships really well. You also really are hands-on with like the visitors and the people coming in. And I
Yeah.
know that what you guys have charities that you give back to or
Yeah. Look, I mean, that's exactly what we're going to jump into.
Yeah.
And I think you hit it head on where the reason why we are like this way
Yeah.
is because this business was started with a family.
See?
You know what I mean? It was a family owned business. So that dynamic is something that we never want to die.
Yeah.
When someone has a vision and puts their heart and their soul and everything that they are and really like jumps into something, and it's passed down to like, their daughter or whatever. we feel that. And so like, since we feel like a family, like we feel like we should give everyone hugs like a family.
You definitely,
you know?
I by far have never walked into the office of Swap, the HQ, if you will,
the HQ.
and been like, this is awkward. These people are weird. Never. It's such like a warm feeling.
Yeah.
And like, are we all related here? What's up, guys?
Love ya.
Missed you guys.
No, and you know,
We're eating lunch today.
I just feel like a bunch of companies are like kind of shifting towards that too.
It needs to be.
Like,
Listen,
you have to support your local communities,
Yeah.
and you have to like, you know, extend an olive branch where you can. I
Yeah.
think that's so important because it just validates you.
Yep.
You know, like the Targets of the world, the Coca-Colas of the world. Like, think about how many times like they try to make themselves marketable by showing that they like appreciate their communities, that they should support their communities. Like, it's important.
Yep.
You know, not
Yep.
everyone looks like one, not every customer looks the same.
exactly.
You know? So it's important for us, and especially because Swap is in, as you know, like 3 different locations here in Chicago. They're also different. You know,
Also
we
different.
serve different communities. So, yeah. So just to touch on that, and it's been 50 years. So like
50 freaking
over
years.
50. I
Let's
know,
go.
dude. Swap,
Let's
baby.
go.
All right. So a couple things to like touch on, obviously. I'll just kind of run down.
Yeah.
The list here is like park districts.
Okay.
So I think if you're going to be a good neighbor, that's like one way to do that. Especially, you know, you come from like suburbia, Michigan, where I'm sure you guys had like, you know, a park place where you guys would have like maybe, I don't know, like a summer festival. Like, did you guys
Yeah.
have that growing up? Like parades
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that?
Of course.
So all of that is usually thrown by a park district, which we like to be a part of because obviously you want to support the kiddos and
Yeah.
all of that stuff. So we are involved as much as we can be, right?
Right.
Like, that to be said. Chamber of Commerce, that's like another thing. So the VP and I are members of the Chamber of Commerce, which if you would have told me,
I'm sorry. What?
if you would have told me like 5 years ago, you'd be on
The flea market,
Chamber
Chamber of Commerce.
yeah.
So how does that work? Are you on for like, what is it, Chicago? Or because like your locations, I guess I'm wondering.
Yeah, so we're members of the Chamber of Commerce in Alsip.
Okay.
In that area. So basically, essentially, like it's just kind of like all the businesses surrounding that
Yep.
area, and you know, I've learned so many things from those meetings. I'm like, I don't know, you know, guys, I'm just a girly out here that stumbled upon this stuff, and I'm just like, whew, like
Yeah.
you know, in the beginning, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. But now like it's so cool to like understand, you know, structural things like, oh, you know, taxes like that, why taxes go up, or like road constructions, or like new businesses that happen, like all of that stuff we talk about in the chamber meetings. And I'm like, in the beginning it was so over my head because I'd never talked about that. I never cared about that, to be frank. And so now it's really cool to like, I'm interested in that because it affects our business. It affects what we do. And then B, like it's super cool to see what everyone else is working on, you know, and we are a member of a community. So like, I don't know, in the room, it's like, you know, there's a guy that owns a restaurant. There's like the fire department, the police chief, like all this stuff, and everyone kind of works together, and it's so cool.
Yeah.
I encourage everyone, if you've like never been a part of something, or like go to like your local like council meeting. It's just to watch and like hear.
And now I'm like intrigued.
I know.
I'm like, what's going on in
It
West
is
Town?
intriguing.
What's going on here? Well, we walk by. Okay.
Alderman.
Yeah. So
It's true.
yeah, it's like right off Chicago Ave.
Yeah.
Because I walk by it all the time when I go to Mariano's.
Yeah.
And they actually they do it really cool. So there's like an empty storefront, and they allow small business owners
Cool.
to basically rent out the space in front of the Chamber of Commerce. So like, you know, say we were selling clothes, and we had it for 2 weeks, and then like 2 weeks after that, there's like a new company there
cool.
and a new small business. So that's
Nice.
something that they do,
Yeah.
and I think that's so cool.
Yeah, to highlight whoever, or to
Get me in a boardroom.
You know what? I always thought that. I always thought I'd be the
with-
one that raised my hand and be
I
like,
need to,
I object. But really, I'm just like sitting there like, huh?
Wow, this is a lot. It'd probably all
Say
be
what?
over my head.
Can we go over last meeting's notes, please? No, it's cool. Yeah, so if you can get involved, get involved. But also like, you know, those being on that also nurtures like the other relationships, like I mentioned with like the fire department, the police department. And what do I mean by that? So obviously Swap has a big parking lot. If you know, you know, especially in our 2 locations, Ashland and Alsip. So like the fire department will come do trainings sometimes because we're like, yeah, of course. Like, you know, whatever. Or, you know, the police department, like one time had like a training there too. Or like they like to post up like up in there, you know, like it's just one of those things where it's like, we're cool with them. Like, they're cool with us. Like, you know, we need a hand, they need a hand. Like, I love that, you know, like obviously like we're people that we love friendships and relationships and like
so
networking.
Important.
It really is.
It's
like,
so important for you. I feel like for one, as like I don't know, just for like you personally, it helps so much, but also for your company and your brand.
Exactly.
It's so great to just be involved with other people who are like-minded.
Yeah. I always like thought it was like annoying. Yeah. Like, you know, back in the day to be like, oh, here's my business card.
Let's go to a networking event.
Yeah. Like I would be like, oh, this is so dumb. Yeah. Like people just want to boast about themselves. But I'm going to be honest, like it truly like helps. Because there are so many times where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need someone that does this.
Yep.
And I have a card now, you know, or I remember someone that I met and like I'm able to make calls directly versus like Googling or whatever.
This just came up. Someone literally just asked me if I knew anyone who like knew how to put a website together. And I was like, my girl that just helped me with my website. But before I could have never given anyone any guidance on that. Yeah. And I think too, when you personally work with somebody, you can speak on like how they are to work with. Right. Instead of like, you can go and read reviews, but for me, like sometimes I just think you get a better understanding when you're physically like working with that person.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the obvious too, if you need like help with something or whatever, it's like, you can call someone directly. Like I said, like you're not calling like the main line and waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like you actually have a direct contact at this point. Yeah. Or there's just so many like benefits to it, I think. And as much as it feels like awkward sometimes, because it does, like, you know, sometimes I like, for example, there was one event that I was definitely probably one of the youngest people in the room. And I felt so awkward and like, how can I benefit somebody here? But you never know like when someone's going to need you or
plus you have a different outlook on things.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's super cool. Yeah. And again, there's so many businesses that are involved, like insurance, brokers, technology people, website people, like you said, like so many people. And then imagine who they know.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So maybe there's a security company, for example, that we've met. So it's like, okay, if we ever need that service, I know I'm going to them directly, but maybe they can't help us and they know someone who can or whatever. So I don't know. It's super cool. And I encourage everyone to do. And then
I think that's important too. Yeah. I really do. And you know, it sounds stale sometimes, like going and like, trust me, we've all been to these events. Yeah. We've all had these conversations or been in these boardrooms. But really, like, it helps so much.
It does.
It really, like, it's credibility, too.
It helps everyone.
Everybody involved. It's all not, like, parties.
Again, like, I always thought it was a selfish thing to network. I always thought people were doing it for vanity. But
because like, there's, like, a stigma behind the word networking.
Like, well, because you think of...
like, oh, I'm going networking. It's like, no, you're going to go have a drink and give someone your business card. Yeah. That's, like, literally what I used to think.
Totally, but... in my mind, and it's no offense, but you always think of like a sales guy or like a realtor that is like trying to hustle you all the time. Like that's the vision I have in my mind of like this hot guy in a suit with a pocket full of cards, and he's just like, hey, if you're looking
to buy or sell, you know anyone in the market,
you know, and it's like, you're annoying, but well, word of mouth is like number one. That's like the key way to like sell yourself, and so. I won't go to those
Yeah.
events, but whatever, like those people got to eat too. So I get it. And again, like I said, hey, I'll take your card. Like,
Yeah.
great to meet you. Come to the flea.
Yep. No, it's so true.
It's true. It's true.
So true.
Here's a coupon. Another like part of obviously communities is kids.
Yeah.
So we swap, you know, we definitely want to foster that, again, being family oriented, and that being one of the goals, as we know from the VP, like family is everything. So we do like trunk or treats. We've supported like,
I have already one I know that you guys do off the top of my head.
which one?
The little, like that league, the baseball league.
Yeah. Little leagues we've supported before. There's like a band and orchestra that we've supported before. There was like a local like dance team that performed once. Like, yeah, if your littles are involved in something and Swap can support, we'd love to do that, especially if you're like local to our area.
Yeah.
Because again, like, hey, that's the future.
Yeah.
So, you know, gotta scratch their back.
Yeah, I mean, these are the kids. They're going to be running the world soon.
No, seriously. I grew up obviously working in a restaurant, and when I moved to like corporate restaurants, the number one thing was like always engage with the kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
why?
Why? What? Do you know why?
No.
Well, you said it, because they're the next generation.
Yeah.
So it's like when a parent is like, where do you want to go to eat, honey? Like, what do you want for dinner? It's like, they'll be like Applebee's, you know, like, because they had such a good experience.
Yes.
So it was like, write their name on a cup, give them a balloon, do this and that. Like, give them such a hoopla experience. And I'm like, oh,
come on. Why are we going so extra for this little one?
but now I get it.
Yeah.
Now I freaking get it. It's true.
It is.
And as you get older, you get soft. Like, you're just
oh
like, oh my gosh,
I am
so freaking
so
cute.
soft. It's gross. Like my friend who has two kids now.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows it too.
Yeah.
If she says no, she's like, call Chach. And I'm just like, what do you need? New cleats? Okay.
I got you. What size?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, so that's super important too. And obviously we like to foster that in-house too.
Yeah.
So I know this year we've talked about doing a ton more for families. Whether it's like, and we have done face paintings and like characters and entertainment and things like that to bring in the families and support them and have something to do, because sometimes there really isn't, especially like right now and things. So and with that, like, we've done, oh my gosh, someone on our team did like, a couple of people from our team did like a village cleanup one day.
Where?
So not all the people in construction vests that are cleaning up on the side are like, you know, are jailbaits.
Okay, I was going to say, like, out of the penitentiary.
No, they're not. Sometimes it's just local folks that are just cleaning
Swap
up.
employees.
Yeah, so we've done like a ton of stuff. And like I said, like Chicago Public Schools, we've done stuff for toy drives. We've done, we've collected for the Chicago Food Depository, I think, during Thanksgiving. So yeah, so it's super important. I think we all should give back in a way that we can.
Yeah.
Because especially if you want to be a business that's thriving somewhere, you know what I mean? You can't just exist.
No.
You know, like, I can't imagine what that would be like. And I would say that's for any company, whether you're like a marketing firm or whatever. Like,
it really is.
Putting your name on the back of like a kid's like jersey is like special. Yeah. I think, you know, call me crazy, but take that $250 and donate it where you can. And again, it doesn't have to be like a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's Swap community relations, which also got to the topic of, you know, this month is also Black History Month.
It is.
So I think that's super important to highlight, because a lot of our vendors are from the Black community. Yep. We serve the Black communities. We love the Black communities.
Yes.
I think it's super important to highlight, to talk about, to support wherever we can. What are your thoughts?
I totally, I mean, I think that it's weird that like we have to, I don't think it's weird that it's a whole month, but I feel like these people should be supported and honored all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, why not? Like,
yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, that's a whole
it's a whole nother topic we should not get on.
whole other can of worms that I definitely am not educated on. I just know kind of the basics. So obviously, like, I think it's super important to support where we can, right?
Definitely.
So it's like, I know that, you know, Swap tries to, as much as we can, you know, really highlight them. And when I say them, I mean the small Black businesses, right? Because we have a ton of vendors from that community. And so
some of our favorite things were Black owned businesses. You know what's very interesting to me when you told me we were going to be talking about this today? Not the entire world doesn't support or honor Black History Month. Did you know that?
No.
It's only a certain amount of countries.
Oh, okay.
So it's the US, Canada,
okay,
Ireland,
okay,
and the United Kingdom. That's it.
Really? Okay. Well,
Which
that's
really
probably where
was-
the communities are the
I
highest,
get it, but
I would say.
But interesting,
Yeah, it is interesting.
you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know facts to say. Like,
I don't either, but I
what's
thought
the Black
it was like,
population in Russia? I don't know.
I figured it was like the whole world.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then when I saw it was literally the US, Canada, Ireland, and the United Kingdom, I'm like, that's just 4 countries.
Yeah.
So I was a little surprised by that.
What the heck?
Yeah, let's get everybody on board, okay?
Come on, Greece. No, I'm just kidding.
Poland, where you at?
Poland, where you at? No. But yeah, it's important to obviously like support, shop, you know, understand, and constantly, like, I know for myself, like, I'm always trying to like educate myself no matter what that looks like, whether it's, you know, and it might sound crazy to some people, but a documentary, a book, an article, you know, supporting local artists.
Yes, if you have, huge. You know, friends who are Black, talk to them.
Totally.
They don't, this is not a weird it shouldn't be a weird conversation.
Yeah.
You know, you should be wanting to know more.
Yeah. And yeah. And again, it's crazy that we're like talking about this. Like, it's like weird, but I want to highlight, like, off the top of our head, some vendors that, you know, we know and love, like, that are creative in their own right. That definitely literally, you know,
I already have one off the top of my head.
Which
the
one?
Candles.
Oh yeah. That's
with
so
the
cool.
jars and the customization that she does.
Yeah, that for sure. We have a fella at Ashland who does like tech. So he used to work, like, I want to say like a big tech company, but now he started a small business and he just repairs computers, laptops, like,
love him.
But he's a gem, literally. And like, how awesome that, you know, you leave that and come to your local community and get to serve them.
And get to serve.
It's cool.
Exactly.
I specifically and also love the ones that are of original African descent that sell, you know,
like the Bob Marley.
I don't know what to say. Yeah, like Bob Marley style, but like, yeah, Jamaican, all that kind of cultural stuff, I think is super cool. I know I probably need to educate myself on what that stuff is called.
That they had, everything.
Oils.
Yeah.
There's like a ton.
Candles.
And it's all
wax. Yeah.
We have like a lady that directly comes. Oh, you've seen her. I think we've like recorded her content before with like straight from her country. I don't quote me. I'm not sure where she's from, but just like all those like essence, like beads and stuff, you know what I mean? And you can
also
concoct,
like the wraps. Remember there was like the dress,
of course,
wrap, like,
yeah.
I was like, oh my God, first off, the colors of these are like
stunning.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Like, I wish I had an event I could like wear this to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I love that too. Like, they're super passionate about talking about their stuff.
Me too. And
no
like
doubt.
educating people on it.
Yes.
Like that guy at the Bob Marley booth was like talking to, remember we were there for like a half an hour and I was like,
we say Bob Marley booth, this vendor like has
well,
Bob Marley's face on everything.
There's so much.
Yeah, it is.
It's like the red, green, and yellow.
Red, green, yellow, orange.
Yeah. But
black.
like all the beads, all of like,
it's
I am like
necklaces,
literally picturing it right now. There's so much.
There's like graphic tees.
Every
like
type of like
hats.
shirt, beaded, accessory, bag, you need to go to him.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Yeah, our location has some really cool individuals, and I think they're so cool, if I can say, like, because they take things that we like normally have and like put a twist on it, you know? So it's definitely things that you've never seen, right? Or it's like, you know, one vendor in particular has like a graphic tee booth, and it's like, it's so funny because he has like everything that we're thinking on a t-shirt.
Yep.
You know, where it's like, shut up, sit down, or something like, sit down, be humble. Like, I'm just rattling things off. But so that's super cool. I love that. And then especially when there's so many vendors there too that will have products for their community specifically. So I know, like, obviously black hair is different, right? Like black skin is different. And so yeah, you need somebody that understands what your skin, what your hair is like, what your nails are like.
They're not going to come to me.
It's just, unfortunately, no.
I don't have the expertise behind that.
You don't.
I can't.
Yeah. And we can't. I mean, we obviously can educate ourselves, but no, it's so cool to see, you know, for example, that fella that we saw also that had like, it was, what was it? It was like shaving products.
Yes.
You know,
my gosh.
and I'm like, this is so cool. The packaging was awesome.
Even the razors, like, it's just, if you have not been, honestly, you really just need to go to every location Swap has, because it's not like, oh, these, you know, black owned small businesses are just in Alsip, or they're everywhere. It's mixed in at Melrose Park. You're at Ashland Ave. But there's really truly like something so special that they all offer.
Totally.
And I think if you know, didn't know this, now you know.
Exactly.
And now it's time to act on it.
For sure. Well, and I say that because a lot of people for Black History Month too, like, I know I always Google, obviously not just Black History Month, but you're always kind of Googling like small businesses to support, you know, coffee shops or whatever. We're telling you, like you said, they're at the flea.
And it literally costs $2 to get into the flea market.
The bones, the dog bones, like all that stuff. Like people that are super smart,
passionate,
super talented.
and so good at what they do.
Yeah, for sure.
Like with the dog bones, I was like mind blown.
Yeah.
Did you know this kind of bone is bad for this dog? And I'm like, do you
Sure
remember
didn't.
my boyfriend was literally talking to him forever.
Yeah. No, it was fun.
So definitely take yourself to the swap.
Yeah. Support your communities, man.
Yeah. It's important.
A big deal.
It is.
It's a big deal.
Support your friends. Support your neighbors.
Totally.
Support somebody who doesn't look like you.
Yes. Always. All right. Well, moving on.
Okay.
Wanted to end this episode with a game called Neighbor or Never.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So, you know, obviously not every neighbor is perfect.
No.
As we know, not every community is perfect. And like we mentioned,
no one is perfect. Okay. Yeah. Let's just keep it at
100. So I wrote down some icks here.
Okay.
And we can say if
neighbor is good, right?
If you would be their neighbor, you'd be their neighbor. If it's like a no way, it's never. Okay. So a neighbor that's noisy at night.
How noisy are we talking?
Yeah, true. I was like, how late are we talking?
We've all been this.
Look, I think I'll be neighborly as long as it's like
not crazy.
Correct. And not every night or whatever. Yeah. Like I get it. It's your birthday. Yeah, because I've been that neighbor.
I'm the same.
Stuff on your property.
Don't love it.
I don't love it either.
I'm a never.
It depends though too. Is it like the kid's bike or like... No, I think that's the boundary that is set. Like, get your crap off my stuff.
We only got so much space here, okay?
Well, also think suburbia too.
Yeah, okay.
Right? So like let's kind of think both. But some of these are tailored to whatever. But
never.
Okay, landscaping uncapped.
Oh, this is a big thing with my dad.
Really?
He hates when our neighbors...
when some of them have like weeds... I'm like, yo, dude.
So for my dad, it's like cutting the lawn and the grass clippings never kept like cleaned up.
Oh gosh.
So I would say no, never.
You mean like the little piles of like grass that are
and like
on there?
Okay, if like there's always a one-off, right? Your neighbor is 90 years old. She's an elderly woman. Take yourself over there and landscape for her.
Dude, I'm sorry, but those folks, they got their stuff on lock. The majority of those.
They have a service coming.
They ain't playing around.
Yep.
All right. What about packages outside?
It doesn't really bother me. I guess I'm like kind of whatever about it.
Really?
Yeah, like what kind of packages?
I mean, okay, so you're in a shared building right now. Does it bother you that there's packages downstairs?
I don't love it.
Okay, see?
But I don't hate it. Also,
yeah.
I'm like, are you guys traveling right now?
Yeah,
And
where
you're
you
not.
at?
Where are you?
But
This package is not that
but does it
important.
put a target on your back? Because now,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
think about that. Like, no, seriously.
So,
like,
yeah, it does. Because
even in suburbia, like, if you have...
now people just steal packages. So
Totally.
it does. Because from like where we literally just talked about this. He will run downstairs and close our door because like it's sticking right now from like whatever the ice or something, the salt. So then it's like if people are walking by our place, it's
they can grab
open
their
and there's
stuff.
all these packages on the bottom and
Yeah.
there's no doorman.
I know.
So yeah, I don't no.
Okay, see?
Clean it up.
What about if people leave their doors unlocked or open? Like, have you ever, growing up, there was a house down the road that would always like the one across the street would always have their front door unlocked, even or like
Why
the screen
did you
door
know
open.
that?
I mean, because you could see it from like our driveway and stuff, and they wouldn't be home.
Oh no.
Yeah,
know,
right.
no.
That's kind of sketch.
Because then people are gonna know that they can get in, and
Yeah,
then
and
they're
I'm
gonna
not
come to your
responsible for
house
that.
and like do some mischief. No,
I do not want to be responsible.
no.
All right. What about if a neighbor's not there when you need them, i.e. to like take your dog out or like close your garage, like if your garage is open and no one tells you, like, or like if you're like, hey, my kid's I'm running 5 minutes late, my kid's at the bus stop, can you just make sure, like, can you hold them for 3 minutes?
That's neighborly.
Yeah, what if they don't? They gone.
Never.
Dude, I'm sorry. If you cross me as a neighbor, you're out.
Yeah.
I think that's how I feel.
Yeah.
All right. What about if they don't clean up after their pet?
No. Do not get me started on this. Pick it up. If I have to get on my hands and knees and pick up wet, soggy poop, so do you.
Yep. Yeah. But like,
I don't like that.
but like, have
or
you
their
ever
dog
had,
is on our
I was gonna
property
say,
doing it.
Yeah.
Go pick it up. Yes.
What about if it's pee? Because
No,
then that's like,
whatever.
But that stains your grass.
Okay, I can't.
Look, for me, it's a no.
It's the poop
it's
for
a
me.
Hell no. I'm putting up a fence so quick.
Oh, I know you
Girl,
would too. I know
I'm putting
you
up a
would.
fence so quick. What about if people mow their lawn like super early or like start construction at like 8 a.m.?
Okay, so we have that here. I can literally hear it at 6:30.
Oh no.
Drives me nuts.
I'm
like,
out. Dude, come on.
not the sun is not even up yet. What are we doing?
Why are you mowing your lawn this early, dude?
No.
Like it's wet from like the precipitate, like in the summer when people would do that.
No, I
I'm
hate
like,
it.
dude,
Never.
What is? I'll
Never.
go to bed.
Nothing before 10.
What about unruly kids or like unattended kids?
No. Nope.
So I used to babysit for my family, and there was neighbors across the street, a set of twins, and I swear
They would just come to you.
they would just come over
Yep.
every single time, and I'm like, "Where's your parents?
Don't
How
they-
did they not know? They didn't even peek around like the corner."
Now I'm feeding
ever.
you.
Shoot, I'm like, I ain't getting paid for you. Anyways, what about when people, like a neighbor specifically too, like comes over and doesn't leave, like the lingering.
This doesn't personally happen to me, but this happens to my friend Alex a lot.
Really?
Yeah, and she always tells me about it. And she has now had to start avoiding certain neighbors
Oh yeah.
because she's like, I can't.
A little tuck and go.
Yeah. Howdy.
Hey,
Gotta go.
Running. What about parking? If someone's like in your parking spot, blocking your driveway.
This just happened to us.
Uh-oh.
And I had to email our landlord.
Really?
Yeah, there's been a car in our spot.
Gotta go.
I said, if they want to park here, they can pay us.
Totally.
I get we don't have a car right now, but that is still in my rent.
Amen, sis.
This shit ain't cheap.
No, I mean, I've had so many, like,
And honestly, it's like audacity.
well,
Like parking in the city, like
that's what I mean. Yeah.
No,
But even
I don't
like,
jive with
but
it.
even like in front, like, in my parents' house too, sometimes like the neighbor across the street, like they have a pretty big family. So their cars are just like lined up in front of like my mom's house. And I'm like, okay, so where am I supposed to go? Like, it's just kind of like unfair. Like, I'm like, yo, like get your stuff in check. Like, you know?
Check it.
Or think about, or like ask. You know what I mean?
Hey,
like
all the kids are in town.
Exactly.
Do you mind
Like,
if we park
hey,
here?
we all, you know,
Yeah.
this day we're having people over, whatever. What about what about gaudy decorations? You know, that neighbor that has like all the things, the blow ups.
This is literally my everything you're saying is in my parents' sub, where my mom and dad
Seriously.
literally call one house and their sub Disneyland.
Dude.
Because not only was one shiny blue ball enough, they have 6 of them. It's like everything. No, I'm out. Nope. Keep it clean and aesthetically pleasing, please.
I mean, yeah.
Less is
Come
more,
on,
okay?
dude. You're digging on the value of our what about smoking? Look, I don't mind, but you know, for example, my building is smoke free.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because there's sometimes like I'll be in the shower in my bathroom
And you could smell it?
and I could smell it in the
Bad.
vent, and I'm like,
Come on.
dog, like at least go out the window.
Yeah, like I'm fresh right now.
Because I'm smelling stale cigs.
Yeah,
Like I'm
ugh.
not even smelling.
See, I don't really smell
And
cigarettes.
I don't even know what floor it's coming from.
That's
like
the
I'm
worst.
just like, ew, like
It's the worst.
ew, and like, are you blowing it in that vent? Like that's
Listen,
crazy.
I get it's cold out, but just think about like if you were not a smoker, would you want to smell that?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about staying with that? What about like funky odors? I immediately think like the Dahmer situation where it's like
Food.
yeah. Oh my food. I can't tell
Other
you how
people's
many
food.
when I would go to when I was touring apartments one year. If I walked into that building and I smelled your salmon, I'm out.
No, the salmon,
I
the
am
curry.
Get me out. I'm
can't.
like, you know what?
No.
This place isn't for
Now
me.
my whole apartment smells like
If you
miso
can-
chicken.
If you
I'm
can
like,
smell
what?
it in the hallway, no, dude.
No.
I'm so good now.
No.
Now I will say
Is that poor ventilation or are you just really spicing it up in there?
something's up,
Both together
ain't
are
for
a
me.
bad
and
combo.
it ain't for me.
Me either. I do not want to smell your food in my kitchen.
What about unannounced or like just really guess? Have you ever had that happen?
No.
Really?
No.
Well, that's good.
Have you?
You know, there was one year where I'm
really crazy about my house and the cleanliness, so I would never be like that at someone else's, I
but
guess.
think about like when you're again suburbia style where it's
Yeah.
like, you know, maybe you're at a bonfire,
Sure.
right? Your neighbor's bonfire. Have you ever had like a neighbor or someone come with someone who's like off the chain and you're
Yeah.
like, okay,
Why did you bring them?
exactly.
Yes.
And you're trying to be a good neighbor being like, okay, this is our like bestie from next door. Do I say something? Do I not?
Yeah.
Like
It's a never.
get your friend out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
Yeah. Or you just got to say,
Next time, don't bring
what
them.
about excessive lights? You know, this is the era of LEDs. So some people really light up their stuff. And I'm
We
like,
don't. Why?
dude, turn that down.
It is 11
bright.
p.m.
Yeah,
Who the hell wants to see these bright lights right now?
totally. What about garbage?
No, never.
Yeah.
Clean it up.
That's also non-negotiable.
Clean it up. I don't
I don't
want to see it. I don't want it on.
you're in a shared garbage too. Like mine's a chute right now, right?
wish
so I'm
we
just
had a
like,
chute.
thank God. But for you guys, you got to go out there. So that's what I'm saying. So if someone leaves the like lid open, you're screwed.
Really? We had to, our landlord put locks
Stop.
No.
On the lids?
because our neighbors across the alley were throwing their trash in our building's trash.
Oh no.
So then there was like mice and stuff. And I'm like,
no.
oh yeah. Who would have
Welcome
ever
to the city.
thought I would have a lock on my trash can? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. All right. Well,
On that note,
come be our neighbor.
we're really not that bad, I swear.
I'm actually a good time. I'm
Yeah.
actually a good time. There's probably a few times, like obviously,
Might be a little
I
loud.
might get a little loud. Those are usually my birthdays, St. Patty's, Halloween sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, the parties I
Yeah.
host. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, you won't hear me.
No, me either.
Or maybe you'll hear my alarm. Oh, footsteps. I didn't even hear or think about that one.
I don't have that
Someone lives-
bad.
Yeah, you don't have that bad
No.
either. I don't have that at all now.
Yeah.
Thank God. Anyways, as Fred Rogers would say, won't you be my neighbor?
I would be your neighbor. You
Thanks.
would be fine.
Solid.
Yeah.
I'd be your neighbor.
Yeah. We're both clean people.
I'd feel like you'd leave some sugar if I needed it.
Oh, absolutely. Come get a cup of flour, baby.
Yeah. Well, again, thanks to all of our communities that we serve. We definitely love it. Swap loves you.
Yes.
So, yeah. And support your Black businesses this month.
Always.
And always.
As always, if you guys like this episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
Yeah. And thanks for listening to another episode of You,
Me,
and
the Flea. See you next time.